Drawing trigonometry graphs. In your GCSEs, you will be asked to draw trigonometry graphs. These are consisting of the graph of y equals sine x, y equals cos x, or y equals tan x. Let's have a look at how to draw these graphs then. Sometimes you might be given an axis, sometimes you might not be given an axis. So let's assume we're not given an axis, so we have to draw one ourselves. So the first graph we are going to draw is y equals sine x. Just going to draw my axis like this. Always make sure you use a ruler in your exams. Okay, so obviously that's my y-axis and that's my x-axis. You can label that if you wish to do so. We are drawing the graph of y equals sine x. We start with 0. Here, 0. That's going to be 90, 180, 270, and 360. Sometimes you might be asked to extend the other way as well, and we can have a look at that. So the y equals sine x graph always starts here. Got to write that as 1, and that here is minus 1. Okay, so your sine x graph here starts at 0. Then the coordinate is 91. Then you go back down to 180, then you go back down to 270 minus 1, then all the way back up, and it's this nice smooth curve like this. Okay, so kind of like a stretched out S shape. Again, if you were to extend this the other way, this would here be minus 90 minus 180. I'll just do it up to there. That here goes back, and then we're going to go back up, and there we are. Okay, and obviously the next point here would be up there, and it kind of repeats itself. Okay, so we're going up, down, down, up, up, then it'll be down, down, up, and so on. Let's draw the graph of y equals cos x. So again, let's get a ruler to draw our axes on. Okay. Okay, so that's my y, that's my x, that's 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, and I'll just do minus 90, minus 180, minus 270. That's 1, and that's minus 1. Okay, the difference between the sine and cosine graph is that the cosine graph starts at 1 rather than 0, 0, so it starts at 0, 1. You go down, and then you go down again, and then obviously you go up, and then you go up. Okay, and that's what your graph looks like. Again, nice smooth curve. If you were to extend it the other way, obviously that's going to go down, down, and then up. Okay, and that is what your y equals cos x graph would look like. If we are to draw y equals tan x, again, let's get a ruler. It's a bit tricky sometimes using a ruler here. Just do it like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to do this here. Okay. So again, I've got 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. Just extend that there. That's my x and that's my y. Okay, we don't need the ones on the y-axis this time. Minus 90, minus 180, minus 270. An important part here that you need to remember, or you need to memorize, is that you have some asymptotes at 90 and at 270. Okay, and that is because on your calculator, if you type in tan 90, you will get math error. So you can try that. And tan 270, you will get math error. So there is no value at tan 90 or tan 270. There's always an error. Therefore, you draw these asymptotes, and that means that your graph should never touch or never should reach the 90 or the 270 mark, because obviously it's a maths error. There is no value for that. So this is how your graph is drawn. It's a graph like that, and then it goes through 180 and like that, and then like that. Now, just here for you to have a look at, if you type in tan 0 on your calculator, you get 0. If you type in tan 180 on your calculator, you get 0, and there you are. That's why the value is 0. And if I do tan 360 on my calculator, I also get 0, therefore that's why it's over there. If you were to extend this graph, your asymptote will obviously also be at minus 90 and minus 270. And then I'm just going to extend that there, okay? And then obviously it's the same this way, okay? Like that. And if you type in tan minus 180, you get 0 on your calculator, and therefore that's why it crosses there at 0. Similar here, if you go back here, if you were to do cos 90, you get 0. If you do cos 180 on your calculator, you end up with minus 1. If you do cos 270, you end up with 0. If you do cos 360, you end up with 1. And you can check here as well. If you do sine 0, you end up with 0. Sine 90 would be 1, so that's the coordinate, 91. Sine 180 is 0, so your coordinate's 180, 0. And then obviously sine 270 is minus 1, and so on. You can check your values like this. But these are the 3 graphs that you should be able to draw for your exam. So you've got the y equals sine x, cos x, and tan x graph there. Thank you for watching.